All right. Don't need those. Haha. Welcome. All right. Welcome, Bay Area K. Let me turn my light on so you can see me and I'm not so backlit. There we go. Hi. All right. Welcome. And we're starting vaguely on time. Awesome. Thank you so much for the follows. Really appreciate that. I've got my stuff ready, just basically in the nick of time. But we are here, and I think I've got my chat commands working. So here we go. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to Samhain Savories at Gramarye Afterlife. Thank you so much to Bay Area K for hosting. My name is Elya. My pronouns are they, them. I've been wearing J fashion for over a decade. I currently wear mostly classic and Gothic Lolita, and I remembered that I have a closed caption thing to turn on. Hang on. Let's see if this works. Start. Haha. Okay. Let's see if you're able to watch me with some captions there. There should be a thing on the side that you can click on. Okay. I have been wearing J fashion for over a decade. I currently wear mostly classic and Gothic Lolita, with occasional forays into OG, Sweet, and Visual K. I have a small accessories brand called Dimensions by Elya Chan, which is on hiatus right now and has been for a while, and is kind of for the foreseeable future, doing other things with my life now, but I'm still going with it. Anyway, today's chord, if you type the command !chord in the chat, that should work, I believe. Let me see if this got it working earlier. There we go. Haha. Oh, that was interesting. Huh. Okay, so Streamlabs says one thing that is what I set up, and Stream Elements, I need to go figure out what else that was. So that may give you a double thing. Okay, anyway, that was interesting. So I'm wearing a Moronix Muna Stoic Doors to the Future skirt with Lady Sloth blouse, and just a vest from Hot Topic, and Teja Jamila tights, and Koi footwear shoes, and I've got one of my own headdresses on that I made. I'm wearing there we go, a brooch from Huvithel X Lady Sloth, and a pentacle rosary from Porcelain Song, who's one of our vendors. Today, all right, I am based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've met other J fashion enthusiasts at conventions here and in nearby states. One of our first meetups for our small scattered community was at a marvelous local treasure called the St. James Tea Room, and I have been in love with the format of afternoon tea ever since. Thus inspired, I've been having great fun putting together my own tea service for myself for these wonderful online gatherings we've been having. I am part of an eclectic pagan community that is connected to my Unitarian Universalist Church, and as a group, we celebrate the 8 Sabbats of the Wheel of the Year. And right now, we are in the time of Samhain, which is around the end of October. It is traditionally a time to honor the memories of loved ones who have died and to acknowledge the turning of the seasons, the cycle of life, death, and renewal. So, go. In this panel, we will start with preparing pumpkin pentacles, is what I'm calling the pumpkin curry hand pies that we're going to make. While our pentacles are baking, we will assemble a white cheddar onion cheese candle. Yeah, you asked for cheese at the last one. We're doing cheese. We will put together a beautiful savories platter, and we will talk about what to do with your leftovers. So you can always type !recipe in chat for a link to the supply list and basic instructions, and I will try to respond to questions as we go. It's so cool, right? Okay, so let's scroll to the next slide here. So we're going to start with our pumpkin pentacles, which will be savory pumpkin curry hand pies. I need a drink of tea. You can type !recipe in the chat to get the link to the, there it is. Yeah, perfect. Get the link to the recipes we're using today. So we're going to gather our ingredients. So we have a package of pre-made pie crust, one of my two favorite ingredients. The other, of course, is the package of pre-made pastry dough. We have we're going to use just one of these today. So we're going to use basically half the recipe that is up on the screen right now, just for time considerations, basically, and also so I don't have too many leftovers. So get one of these out. These have been sitting for a while on the counter while I've been getting dressed and ready, just to come up to room temperature. So the next thing, of course, we're doing pumpkin, so we got to have pumpkin. I have a Ziploc bag that has pumpkin puree that I actually made, roasted a couple of the little pie pumpkins, that you kind of like the one you see in the ingredients illustration there. And there is at the bottom of the recipe page, there are instructions for how to roast pumpkin and prepare it for using in recipes. Had a question last night from Lady Red Fox PhD, who asked if roasted sweet potato would also work. Yes, I believe it will. It's got a very similar texture, very similar, actually very similar, fairly similar taste profile, so I think it will work also very nicely for this recipe for the filling. I have some roasted garlic that I roasted up myself, and has been kind of just chilling in the fridge. We're going to use a couple of cloves of that smushed up, and we need, of course, for curry flavor, we're going to use our favorite curry powder. I'm very particular to the Penzeys curry. I also have some just basic old Spice Islands curry, so I'm probably going to actually use this up first, and then probably put in some of the Penzeys as well. So we've got that, and we need an egg. Always need an egg if we're doing pastry. Always need an egg, because egg wash makes things look very nice and golden brown, and gives it that really nice finish. So we'll do that. And then, of course, I've got some good old all-purpose flour for dusting my baking surface. These also work very well with a gluten-free prepared pie crust. Just make sure to note the defrosting instructions on the package for it, and use a gluten-free flour for dusting generously your work surface and your rolling pin. Speaking of tools, I am turning on my oven to preheat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is approximately 180 degrees Celsius. You can Google conversions. Yay, Google is my friend. We have let me switch to, haha. We have a pastry mat, so for rolling out my dough, I will get a rolling pin, which actually has oh, there we go. Has a little guide on it for the thickness of the the crust that you want to roll out. So tighten that down. There we go. We got a rolling pin. We have a couple of cookie cutters. For this one, we're going to use about a 3-inch round cookie cutter. It's a little bit. I think it's a little bit less than 3 inches, maybe like 2 3/4 inches. And then we've got some options for the decoration. I have a star-shaped cookie cutter for the very easy way to add a star shape to the top of our little pies. But we can also a muffin cutter should work. Yes, it may be a little bigger, but yes. And let's see what's next. I need I'm going to go ahead and get out a paring knife, I've got a mixing bowl, plonk, and a spoon, and I'll get a bowl with water and a thing for the egg wash. Go. Boop. Boop. Pastry brush. This will be for our egg. Our friend the egg beater, the egg-shaped whisk, Egberta returns. Here we go. There she is. Yay! So there's that. And a knife. A little water in the bowl. That. Measuring spoon. Spoon for spooning stuff onto the thing, and a spatula because spatulas are useful. Okay, there we go. I believe we have everything. And then a baking sheet with parchment paper on it for each pie crust. Each pie crust we use, we're going to get about 8 of these little pies out of. So for each half of the recipe, we're going to have one baking sheet with parchment paper on it. Boop. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with our pumpkin pentacles. Boop. Yeah. All right. So starting with our dough. Move things out of the way. There we go. So we're going to start with one thing of pre-made pie crust, which is the best thing, the most convenient thing. We need to add some flour to our work surface. Otherwise, it will stick. Very, very, very much stick. Okay, here we go. There we go. There's some flour. All right. Just good old basic all-purpose flour. I'm very glad that Lady Sloth's blouses are very washable. because I did not necessarily think the sleeve situation through here. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Right. I think what I'm gonna do is these sleeves are very, very cute, but they are also rather in the way. So I am going to unbutton them just a skosh. And machine washable Lolita is the backbone of society. Yes, yes, Mani, you are correct. Oh, bless. All right, here we go. So we're going to just kind of roll this out a little more. So it's nice and flat. You know what? I'm actually going to ditch these because I want to get this. I want to get this fairly thin so we can make sure we get our. So we can make sure we get enough circles out of it. It's very secure. This is where it would be good to have a soundtrack. I don't have a soundtrack. I haven't figured that out yet. Okay. Plonk. There we go. That's a little better. But this is also, and this of course is also why I'm wearing an apron. There we go. All right, that's a good start. Let's cut out some circles. I'm going to lay them. I'm going to lay my circles over here on. See if I scoot that up just a little bit. Angle it'll just. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to lay out my circles once I've cut them out over here on this side. So I've floured that surface a little bit. And then we're just going to go cut 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could count in Klingon. Chor is 8. Kut 9. Watmach 10. Watmach wa 11. Watmach cha 12. Watmach wedge 13. Watmach losh 14. All right. Just need to get 2 more out of this. So we'll roll the rest of this back up. The beeping tells me that my oven is preheated. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we'll scrunch the rest of this back up. There we go. And roll it out again. There we go. Apply more flour to your rolling pin as needed to keep it from sticking. Flip your dough every once in a while. And that should be good because we're only concerned about getting like 2 more circles out of this, because the rest of this we're going to use for the decoration. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of roll that. See if I can roll that back out kind of into a strip. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So what we're going to do with this is then cut little strips from it to lay on our tops of our pies to form our pentacles. Okay. A little thinner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. All right. There's my cursor. There we go. So we're going to place 8 circles on our prepared baking sheet with our. Thank you so much, Molly. I was so proud of how those turned out. I was so delighted with how those turned out. Okay. We're going to keep the remaining circles off to the side. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just kind of keep the rest of these up here out of the way. Cool. Okay. Set those there. And the next thing we are going to do is prepare our filling. So I've got just a little, a medium-sized bowl here. Let me grab a, that fell on the ground. Let's wash it off. There we go. That's better. All right, we're going to do half the recipe, so I'm going to do half a cup of pumpkin puree. So I'm just going to scoop in, just going to dig into my bag of pumpkin smush. Here we go. Does not have to be exact. The exactitude required in this baking recipe is already taken care of by the fact that we are using pre-made pastry dough. Pre-made pastry dough, pre-made pie crust. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There we go. Da, 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 da. Scoop. Just get all that pumpkin-y goodness out of the measuring cup. There we go. Pumpkin. This is where my pumpkin creativity went, is into doing this. Which is why I just submitted the picture that I took for my panel illustration for the pumpkin contest. All right, there we go. Find me some pre-made gluten-free pie crust. I found pre-made gluten-free pie crust I found at Sprouts in the freezer section in like the gluten-free desserts kind of area. So because I have a friend at work who is gluten-free. So when I was doing basically I did the test bake for this panel as my contribution to our Halloween party potluck. And so I wanted to make sure that she would have some of these that she would be able to eat. So I found the gluten-free pie crust at Sprouts. Let me get the package out of the freezer and I'll show you what it looks like. I used one of them. It is definitely a keep. This is a keep frozen rather than a keep. Here we go. Wholly gluten-free, bake at home gluten-free pie shell. So you just defrost it and take it out of the pan, and then you can make sure that you've if you're just doing gluten-free, then you're already fine. But if you're, what I did was I did this first before I did the regular flour ones to make sure that it wouldn't that I wouldn't get the regular flour onto the gluten-free stuff. And then I just used, I have a gluten-free 1-to-1 substitution all-purpose flour that actually have I have a very specific one because I have another friend who has not only gluten-free but also has other sensitivities. So I had to get, I found one flour that works really well for her. And so I just keep that on hand so that I can make treats so I can make treats for my friend, because I like cooking for people. All right, we've got roasted garlic. Even without like currently actually actively cooking this, it smells really good. Look at that. Look at those. Those roasted very nicely. Okay, we're gonna just put one of those in there. Smush it up with the fork a little bit. Bloop. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure that this pie crust and I don't know that the gluten-free pie crust that I found are vegan as well, but probably not. I would not count on it. But if you find a vegan pre-made pie crust, or make your own pie crust with like margarine instead of butter, that however you would normally prepare your vegan stuff, the egg can be the only other ingredient that's not inherently vegan is the egg, and you can use an egg substitute. You can use a plant-based milk or something to brush the tops of your pastries with if you want to do a vegan thing as well. So this is it's a very adaptable recipe. I myself adapted it from another recipe that I found on the site that was very simple. I'm like, okay, I can do that so that it will have the flavor profile that I want, which is the curry. Okay, and we're doing basically about a teaspoon per pie crust. So I mean, not a teaspoon, a tablespoon. we don't skimp on spices around here. We do, however, apparently skimp on hydration, and I should be better about that. And I'm going to take another drink of tea. Okay, much better. Tea today, I am drinking a black jasmine cream from New Mexico Tea Company, which is one of my favorites. I buy this in bulk. I drink it. It's one of the ones I drink like all the time. It is very good. Even like I brewed this like 5 hours ago, and it's just as good cold as it is hot. Especially with I usually do a milk tea, so I've got milk and sugar. Tea. Aha! There you can see it. Ta-da! Like a milk tea. It is a milk tea. It's a tea with milk in it. It's a milk tea, right? That's how that goes. I believe that's how the taxonomy works. Here we go. And so we're just gonna mix this up until it's nice and blended up. Here we go. Very lovely orange. Very orange, very festive color, and that's all the pumpkin. That's like the yellow turmeric in the curry does not even phase the shade of the pumpkin. It's very vibrant. So good, so good. All right. Actually, keep that aside. I'm going to rinse this fork off really quick because we're going to use it to press the edges of our little pies. Right. Bloop. Bloop. Pie crust running away. It was only on the counter, it's fine. That's the other reason I keep a good generous scrap aside in case I drop it on the floor. It's like completely unusable. All right. We have pie crusts. We have filling. We're going to scoop some filling into, I was going to do this spoon. There we go. So we're going to kind of just try and somewhat evenly distribute this filling between our pie crusts. Bloop. Five. Six. 7. 8. And again, just scrape all that good pumpkin-y goodness. Let's see, that one needs a little more. Use all the filling. There we go. Just a little more. And that one. And that one. And that one. All right. There's that. It's my fingertips. Okay. Now we are going to put our top crusts on all these little bitty pies. So I'm going to take some of this water. Let's see, let's put that there where we can see what we're doing. And just kind of go around. Actually, it's easier. Okay, so it'll kind of fit on top as is, but it'll fit a little better if we just kind of with our hands just squish these out a little bit so they're just a little bit bigger. And that'll help them fit better on the top of the thing. And then I'm going to just brush that with my fingertips with some water and press that onto the pie crust with, and it's okay if it squishes out a little bit. That just means you got it good and full. It's all good. It's all good. It'll look fine when you're done because egg wash does wonderful things for making things look good. All right, squish that out, press that out just a little bit more. There we go. Add some water. The water helps the water helps the dough stick to each other. That's all that's for. We're also going to we'll press these with our fork here too. When we're gone, there we go. Yeah. Press, 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 press. All right. A little bit of water. And press it onto. This is why we're only doing 8 of these, because we're already halfway through the panel. Well, a little bit less than halfway through the panel. I asked for a 75-minute panel, so we'll see if this works. So plump, so cute. Yeah, tuck in that fill-in. Yeah. And they just look like little raviolis right now. They're going to be even cuter though. Da, 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 da. There we go. Bloop, bloop, boop, boop, boop. Ba, ba, da, da. Squish, squish, squish. Squish. Pat, squish. 4 more. Do, 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 do. The little dance. Go. Squish, squish, squish. 3 to go. And 2 to go. Yay. So, oh my goodness, how about that fashion walk? How awesome was that? I just love every time seeing everyone's fantastic creativity. And major, major props to the editing on that. That was so much fun. That was so good. We just knock it out of the park further and further every time, and it's so good to see. It's so cool to see. I actually filmed mine like very, very late at night, after actually after our Samhain ritual at my church, and I had taken some video of the outfit that I was wearing for the ritual itself, but it was not what I had really wanted to submit. So I like did a quick change as soon as I got home and filmed that and filmed my video and then edited it like super quick and got it in just in time, but I got it submitted. Okay, we have we have 8 tiny little hand pies. I am going to give my hands a rinse. And then we're gonna put some design on top of these. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of press around the edges of each of these guys just to help further seal these in. Boop, with my fork. I think there's like, I think I've seen like at the like super fancy cooking store, a thing where you can just like roll a design onto the edge of a pie, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should get one of those. That would be fun. We're just gonna do this. Press, 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 press. Very quickly, because we want to move on. We want to get these into the oven so they can be baking, so I can show you them before the end of the panel. I do have like 2 left for my test batch, so I can show you if we don't get these in time, but I hope we can get this done. I intend to get this done. How about that? So what I will probably do is just show you like 1 or 2 of the really fancy ones, and then we'll also do like the super easy versions too. Boop, 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 boop. Squish. Squish, squish, squish. But the joy of working on the parchment paper is that these actually like turn fairly well, so I can do this somewhat easily. There we go. Ta-da! Now, okay, there's a couple ways. There's a couple ways we can there are a couple ways we can decorate these. Let's see. Okay. We can either use our star-shaped cookie cutter to just press a design into the top of a pie, like boop, like so. And it'll just give this nice little indented star shape, which is cute. We can cut out a star shape and just kind of plonk it on there. Again, get that water to stick it on there. Come on, stay with me. Here we go. Let's see. And so we'll just brush the top of that one with some water. And just stick that on there. And it looks cute. Where's my knife? The other thing we can do is we can actually cut a pentacle pattern into it. So like that one. Kind of trying to draw these in an invoking pattern, but also I want to make sure that I don't lose the screen. There we go. There. This is why you want a fairly sharp knife, and I don't think this one is as sharp as it really probably ought to be for this, doing this on the already filled thing. But there you kind of get that idea. Or, and my favorite, and the one I did in the for the ones that I have in my illustration, we're going to cut some strips of dough very carefully here. So these are about what's between an eighth and a quarter, 3/16. Basically, between about an eighth to a quarter inch wide strips. There we go. Just going to cut several of these so we can kind of go here. Probably maybe closer to a quarter inch. I don't know. All right, that's a good start. And then you want these about the about the length of the cookie cutter. So we'll kind of do that. Kind of that. And so what we're going to do then is we're going to take our water and brush it over the top of the sealed crust here. Get that good and wet. Phrasing. And we're going to just take some of these strips and we're going to lay them across the top in a star pattern. 1, 2, 3. I'll save that one. 4. 5. And there we have a lovely little woven pentacle. Kind of press that down, and then when we're doing our egg wash, we'll just kind of make sure to get the egg wash into all those nice little nooks and crannies we just created. Let's do another one like that, and then we will get these into the oven. 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah, it definitely helps that I cut out all these strips first. That did work well. Okay. That was not a thing that I did when I did my test bake, and I'm like, these are going to take too long if I do them all like this. And they're still going to take too long if I do them all like this, but we'll do some like this. Okay, let's do one more. And then we'll do a couple more star shapes there. One, two, come on, three, four, and five. Earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. There we go. All right. All right, that's good. I'm just gonna kind of do another couple just like this, just so we can get them in to the oven. There we go. And because of the consistency of the pumpkin, we don't have to worry too much about it like squishing and leaking all over everything. It's not like apple stuff or a berry pie, where that would be a definite risk. All right, so I'm going to crack my egg into my bowl. Toss that. Whip it good. Da da da. Thank you for the love for the outfit. Oh my goodness. Do that. I can actually read the whole chat. Hey! Hello, Klingon Pop. Hello, Jen Bomb. I'm glad you finally made it to one of my panels. Thank you. All right. So we've got our egg wash. Bloop. Throw egg Berta in the sink so she can get clean. Oh, concert tickets. Awesome. Have fun. Yay. Enjoy. All right. We're gonna throw some egg wash on these guys, and then we're gonna throw them in the oven. There we go. And just get that. Be generous with the egg wash. It's there for a reason. This is what gives the pastries that really nice golden sheen when they're baked. Ta-da! And get that into all the little nooks and crannies. And on these ones, we really kind of want to just gloop it on, really gloop it on there to get that all covered. This is why we're doing this on parchment paper for a reason. I have an apron on for a reason. And I roll my sleeves up for a reason. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're going to come out just about right on the timing, I think. That panel is till 5:45 my time, which is 4:45 Pacific, and it is 5:20 now. So if we get it in the oven, you will be able to see them come out of the oven by the end of the panel. Heck yeah. Squish, 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 squish. Bah. And the rest of this egg, I'll just put a lid on, I'll just put a lid or a cover on this bowl, and I will probably just end up turning this into, adding this to a recipe of egg bites for later. All right. We have pumpkin pentacles that are going in the oven. Make some scrambled eggs, yeah. All right, the oven has preheated to 350. The little mini pies are in the oven. And now, I'm gonna kind of clear some of this. Let's clear some of this stuff out of the way so we can do the next thing. Plonk. Keep that. And neat thing about this is I can just kind of scoop it up. Wow, clean counter. Well, sort of. Plonk that there because I want to see if I can do something else with those scraps. All right. Next. So next, let's do pop. There we go. Next, we are going to do our candle. Yay. So I'm going to get a fresh cutting board out. Plop that down there. And get the rest of the components out of the fridge, which is really just this. And I'll go ahead and get out the one that I made as my example. All right. Boop. All right. So we've got our ingredients are white cheddar cheese, shredded, cream cheese, and the recipe I found at goulettheart.com. There you go. The recipe. The thing I set up, the timer I set up, did its thing. Oh my God, I didn't even have to tell it to. That's awesome. All right, where's my, there we go. Okay. So the kind of recipe and technique I found for this at goulettheart.com called for a teaspoon of dry mustard, a teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter of a teaspoon of white pepper. All of those are kind of components in in this blend from Penzeys, which is called Justice. It has shallots, garlic, onion, green peppercorns, chives, and green onion. And so it was a lot easier to do this, especially since I already had this in my. Yeah, it's so weird. You don't think it'll work, but you'll check. Watch this. Okay, so and then our tools. So we've got cheddar, we've got cream cheese, we've got onion herb blend, and then what we have are these cheese wraps. I found Parmesan. I've seen them in the recipe specifically mentioned mozzarella. I didn't actually find mozzarella. I found these. I found some cheddar jack ones. I got these because they match the aesthetic. So we've got Parmesan cheese wraps, and our tools. We need a food processor. I did this. I'll show you what I did beforehand as I was watching the the name of the Penzeys spice mix is Justice. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. Penzeys Justice spice mix. Very good, very oniony, very nice, but like not an overwhelmingly oniony, but a very nice kind of mellow oniony, and works very good in this. So scroll to my next slide. Okay, so we've got a baking sheet with parchment paper. I had a fridge. You love Penzeys and we'll be placing an order soon. Yes, yay. Yeah, get the Justice and get the curry powder, and get the what else? I got the pie spice and the ancho chili pepper, and I love Penzeys too. They're so good. Getting ready for the holiday baking. Oh yes, oh yes. We've got a cutting board. We've got a knife. We've got where did they go? We've got tea lights. That's what's going to turn it into a candle. Whoa. Put those somewhere where they're not going to slide off. And already have 4 different curries from Penzies. Yes, good. Yes, good. All right, so what I did, here's what I've done ahead of time for this candle. I have mixed the cheddar, cream cheese, and the onion herb powder in a food processor and blend until smooth. Definitely use a food processor. A hand mixer will not have enough power, will not have enough torque. Even the good, like I have a, on my ingredients list, on the ingredients picture, I took a picture of my, I included a picture of my nice little hand blender. I started with this. No, it did not work. So definitely use an actual countertop food processor. That'll give you the power you need to deal with this. There we go. So I blended those up. This is what I was doing while I was watching the super secret spooky makeup panel. Okay, and then once you've got it all blended up, scoop it out onto a parchment lined baking sheet. Flatten it out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. I used a small rolling pin and just kind of sandwiched it between layers of parchment. And this has now been chilling in the refrigerator for about an hour. So now what we're going to do is assemble this. I've got my, I'm going to go ahead and switch to, let's do snack cam focus with the presentation. There we go. Okay, now snack cam focus. All right. I've got my cheese mixture pressed out. This has been chilling for about an hour. You definitely use the fridge rather than the freezer. The freezer will get it too solid, and you won't be able to cut it with your round cookie cutters. There are wonderful sets of just increasing diameter round cookie cutters. I got this from Amazon probably for like $12. Absolutely a worthy investment, a worthy thing to add to your kitchen tools. So useful. Okay, so I've got about a 2.5 inch circle, and I'm just going to kind of cut out as many of these as I can get, and we're going to stack them. Stack. 1, and as many of these as we get, that's as tall as our candle is going to be. Go. And don't worry too much about getting, we're not going to try and re-roll out this mixture for the scraps to get more circles, because it will just take too long, honestly. But this mixture is now like super great to put on like a bagel. I will probably include it in the egg bites that I'm going to make with the remnant of the egg wash. Bloop. There we go. All right, so we got about, can I get 2 more? No. I'm going to get one more, about 1 more out of this. So, okay. So for this last one, yeah, I mean, I probably could have gotten more out of that, but if I had set up my thing of cheese a little better, that's fine. So in this last one, what we're going to do, I'm going to push this out of this cookie cutter. This is where we're going to put our candle. So I've got about a 1/2 inch cookie cutter that is approximately the same, about the same size around as the tea light that we're going to put in here. And so I'm going to try and center that as best I can, and we're going to cut a circle out of that. There we go. And then that will go on the top of our stack. Boop. Ta-da! And we have, okay, it looks, you know, it looks like a stack of cheese right now. We are going to do something about that. Okay. So we just put that in. I did not set a timer. I didn't set a timer. So it's going to come out of the oven at 5:40 in 10 minutes. We're going to check. Okay. All right. Again, we're going to just, the lovely thing about working with parchment paper is that we can just move it the heck out of the way. And I will scoop all that into a, little bowl that I can keep, in it. Oh my gosh, I should have done this. Should have opened this earlier. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. There we go. Okay. So you want these to be at room temperature before you start working with them. So again, these have been kind of sitting out on the panel, out on the counter since the beginning of the panel. So they're fine. They are nice and pliable. And let's see what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take one of these. And the recipe says to go ahead and wrap this in plastic wrap and then and chill it for a little bit so it can firm up. We don't have time for that. We're doing this live. I apologize. I think the person who originated that is probably a terrible person if I remember correctly. So we're not doing it. We're not doing that. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of cut the top of this. The cats are starting to say, "Mom, where is dinner? It's almost time for dinner." They're not going to come on the counter, right? Right. Okay, good. Okay. So wrapped one of those around there. And so because of the way these were in the package, let's see, they've got kind of a little bit of a texture to it. So we're going to make sure we match that texture with the other wrap. So it looks all of a piece. So again, so it's running up and down. Do the same thing here. Don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of use about half of there. There we go. Go. Okay, so we've got that wrapped around there. And then in order to make this look like a seamless candle, oops. Yeah, see, this is why you check what you're doing. Okay, so we've got that, again, we've got that nice little texture on the outside there. So we're going to keep that. And then to make this look like a seamless candle, we're going to take our knife and cut through both overlapping edges of the wrap. Take away the excess and press that in to be a very nice seam that, again, because of the texture, you can't even really see it. It's great. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the other end of our overlap. There we go. Cut that. Oh. peel away our excess. Press that down into our cream cheese, which will glue it all together very nicely. We're going to kind of press this down on the top. And cut this. What are they doing the other one? Just kind of cut this along the top. Keeping an eye on my clock since I didn't set a timer. We should have about 5 more minutes for those pastries in the oven. But there we go. Again, just kind of press that, smoosh that in together like that. Use your knife to trim as necessary. There we are. This is so much fun, right? This is black magic. I crave the forbidden cheese cylinder. But it's not forbidden. That's the glory of it. This is entirely edible. Well, except for the actual candle itself. That's probably not edible. But here we go. We have, it just looks like a lovely pillar candle. Ta-da! And then, for the finishing touch, grab one of our tea lights out of our package. Plonk. I am gonna make sure I can get to the wick there. Go ahead and gather my scraps of cheese here. Those will make lovely wraps, or I don't know, nachos, or just snacks. It's all snacks. And kind of put those back into the package. Yeah. How are these looking? Yes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna get those out with about 5 minutes left in the panel so we can see what we're doing. These are, of course, empty. They go there. That goes over here. I'll wipe this. Just kind of make sure the outside of that candle is clean, just because. And you can use this is an actual candle, but you could also use a tea light. For those of us who have plenty left over from the Gothic Heroine book club reading last night. So this is and then this, of course, is the one that I had for my demo. And there we go. And they ended up slightly different sizes. So we have so we'll have a nice little variety. Oh, I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of keep the bottom of this sealable, is I am going to place it on a piece of parchment paper, cut out around the edge of the parchment paper. Oop, maybe. Come on. There we go. And that just kind of gives it a nice base to sit on and to freeze, or not to freeze, but to wrap up and go in the fridge. So there we go. We have candles. We have magical candles made out of cheese. Cheers. All right. So now for our finishing touches, in about now, we are going to get our pies out of the oven. Ha ha, the timing worked. Look at that. Look, oh yeah, snack cam focus. We have glorious little hand pies that are ready to chill for a couple of minutes before serving. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my oven. So you want to let those cool for a few minutes. Perfect little Wiccan pies. Yes, yes, perfect little witchy. Hashtag witchy Lolita. Hashtag pagan Lolita. But to smell those so badly, right? They smell very, very good. So we've added a tea light to the top of our candle. Let's see, presentation focus. There we go. We're going to put these. We can go ahead and put these on a platter. I'm going to just use one of my pretty black plates. So I'll scoot this over here, and let's see if I can kind of. Here we go. Adjust the. I'm going to adjust the snack cam before I switch to it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Move some stuff out of the way so we can see what we're doing. There we go. So now we have our platter here. I'm going to put my candles on there. The only thing I forgot to get when I was doing my supply run last night is I totally forgot to get some grapes that I wanted to put on here, like I have in my illustration. So just imagine there are grapes, please. But we've got our candles. Let me get a super cute little bat spatula. A batula? No, I'm not going to call it that because that probably means something else. But I found this at Target because their dollar spot at Halloween time is the best. So I can just kind of. These aren't quite cool enough yet for me to handle by themselves. So we'll just kind of do that. But there we go. And then here we go. And let's see. Another good thing to use to serve these with is some crackers. Where's my good little cheese knife? There you are. So got a little knife for the cheese. Got some almond nut thins crackers that are really good. I was hoping to, if I had not let myself run out of time this week, I would have gone to Costco and gotten those really nice multigrain crackers. But these are pretty good too. But yeah, then you can just kind of slice a tear off the candle and have some cheese and crackers. There we go. And of course, for the final touch, fire. Come on. There we go. Ta-da! And there we go. We have our lovely Samhain savory snacks. So yeah, thank you so much. I didn't let it go that long. It might. It might. Monty asks, can the candle melt into fondue? It might, but I don't think it actually. I don't think it actually will, because it's on top rather than like below it in a bowl, and the tea lights don't really put out quite enough heat to do it from that side. Melty cheese, please. But it might. It just might. So yeah. So for if you want to do a whole tea service, you can arrange things on different tiers. Just go ahead and take photos and show them off on the snack time channel on the Bay Area K Events Discord. Of course, on Instagram with our event hashtag Gramarye. I think it's too late for the Instagrammery thing. Okay, so let's do. Wow, what the heck? Okay, fine. my remote control app just seemed to like lose what I was doing. So let's see. Okay, so leftovers. The hand pies will keep in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or in the refrigerator for at least a week. If you want to reheat them, you can do them in like a toaster oven for about 10 minutes at about 300 degrees. You can also, before you put them in, after you do the egg wash, but before you put them in the oven, you could instead put them in the freezer, and then you can bake them up fresh, and that would be about 25 minutes from frozen in a 350-degree oven. The remaining scraps of cheese mixture are fantastic on bagels, or as an ingredient in anything that you would use an onion-flavored cream cheese with, or just a cream cheese in general, because it brings that flavor. So like the egg bites I'm going to make, the tea sandwiches, something like that. The mixture, the candle, will keep a week or so in the fridge, or of course longer in the freezer. And before we go, we're we're a couple minutes over, but we'll get ready to raid back to the Bay Area K channel. Do we have any more questions? Hydrate, please remember to hydrate. Blazing cheese. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the follows and the comments and the chat. Please, if there's a panel feedback survey, please fill it out. Yes, I bought the round cookie cutters on Amazon, and I think I found a set of the star cookie cutters you can probably find also on Amazon. I think those particular ones I probably got at the Now We're Cooking store. Need some pumpkin spice tea. Yes, this is super fun. I am too, because all I've had to eat today is a couple of pumpkin muffins. So I'm ready to kind of dive into this. Yeah, let me know if you have any ideas of things that you would like to see in the future for future Savories panels, because I love that we're doing these. Thanks again so much to Bay Area K for hosting Gramarye Afterlife. I really appreciate these virtual events. I'm so glad we're continuing to do them. The next panel this afternoon is Poisons, a 19th century introduction, hosted by Shay, and that'll be back over on Bay Area K's Twitch channel, which I will attempt to raid back over there. Let's see if we can make that work. And that'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific time in about 10 minutes. For more delicious treats, we've got a few more panels during this event. Later tonight, EGL Treats, Baked Bats and Witches' Fingers. with Allegra and Oriana of EGL Treats. Um, will be at 6:15 p.m. Pacific, and later we'll have antique sodas for the Afterlife, hosted by Jason of Blackbird Finery, later tonight at 8:45 p.m. Pacific. Enjoy the rest of the panels. Vote for your favorites in the fashion walk. Have fun shopping with the vendors if you haven't already, or do more. Submit your pumpkin patch creations for the pumpkin patch contest, and I'll see you in chat. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be. Yay. All right. And now I'll see if I can figure out how to send all of us back over to, yes, please. Yeah, if you make these, please tag me. Yeah, if you make these, please tag me, and I would love to see how you all put these together. That is going to be fantastic. All right. Let's just go back to that. All right, there. And let's see. Come here, Twitch. So, yeah, right, there we are. So we are going to go. Oh no, power went out again. Oh no. Okay, so is Bay Area K back online so I can send you all over? Let's see if it works. Okay. Oh, not quite yet. Let's see. I think they have to actually be broadcasting for me to rate them. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was weird. All right. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my thanks for watching panel. Thank you again, and have a lovely afternoon, evening, and we'll head back over to Bay Area. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Go. So there's the link, and let's try. No, that's not what I. There. Nope. They're not live yet. They're not back online yet. So I'll just go ahead and end my stream, and please click that link, head on over to Bay Area K, and thanks for watching. Bye. Good